Hello everyone, my name is Shindar and I beat BuTiTi III a few days ago. And I want to share my experience with you and eventually give you tips on how to beat the level without having any major problems. Before we get to the actual video, if you're going for BuTiTi III as your new hardest or maybe even first extreme, I have one tip. Don't. The level already gave me a lot of struggle as the second hardest and took me around 10,000 attempts, but I'm not here to tell you what to do. If you want to beat this as your first extreme or new hardest, you can go for it, but you need to know that your experience is going to be bad. I've put timestamps in the description so you can see at what time I practice current parts of the level. With all things said, let's get to the video. Before you play this level, I highly recommend you to play only with the LDM and not the ULDM. Since ULDM removes a lot of jump or fly indicators that can really help you through your completion. I'd also recommend you to play the start pose version by FPFP since it's the 2.2 version, while the most famous one by inactive LKFD is the 2.1 version with these weird fixed hitboxes at the last swing copter. The level starts with a one-time speed cube. I don't really have to say much about this cube, it's probably the easiest part of the level. Just keep in mind that there are some J blocks that block you from buffering some jumps, so it can get pretty annoying to get used to it. Once you're at this triple orb, buffer everything or you can die to these 3 spikes. Here's another J block. This is where the difficulty spikes. The first click is a light robot jump followed by 2 orbs. You can easily buffer these 2. As soon as you click the second orb, start holding and buffer the robot jump. When your robot legs align with the top small spike, release. Next is a light click yet again and another green orb buffer. Then we have another light jump and now an actual green orb timing. You have to jump right inside the green orb and as soon as your entire robot is in the green orb, you click. Next jump is bufferable, but there's an easier way of doing this jump. Just by waiting a split second after landing on the ground and then holding in a short medium length click. Then you have a simple pink orb click and a jump that can be easily done with just a simple light click and another 2 clicks of a similar input length. Next jump is another buffer where you have to release around when your robot is about right in the middle of the hole. Then hold again, release right before the green orb and click when at least half of your robot is inside the green orb. The next jump is a simple hold that you can mess up only by holding too long. A green orb that is also bufferable and a tricky jump where you have to release somewhere around when your robot is in the middle of the second ground hole. This part is probably the easiest part of the level, there's nothing much to it. Buffer these 2 blue orbs, also this one before the yellow pad. And once you're at this block, start holding so you don't have to do these 2 tricky timings. The rest of this part is honestly a cakewalk and you won't be having much trouble with it. This is another difficulty spike. You do 2 light clicks, one before the spikes and one on this ramp. You can do it without the second jump, but due to 2.2 physics, it's really inconsistent and sometimes can send you flying right to your death. Another whole jump and a black orb, all simple. Then there's a pretty easy robot timing, a few jumps, a simple dash orb that has an S block at the end so you cannot die by holding for too long. Jump into the blue pad, do a small click, a pretty long jump, another small click, and as soon as you start falling, start holding again. Buffer this jump and hold as long as you can. You cannot die to these top spikes. Another light click and as soon as you fall down, wait a split second before holding again to this red pad. Next we have a really straightforward shipped part. The only tricky part of this section is this dash orb, where you have to release right when your ship touches the ramp, otherwise you'll die. Then fly with the guides and do the straight fly at the ending. Now we have this abomination. It's probably the most annoying part of the entire level. It isn't hard, just annoying. Click, release and buffer this pink orb inside the saw blade. Do the same again on the second pink orb, and yet again, click and buffer these 2 blue orbs. Click this blue orb and rebuffer your click so you won't die to the saw blade inside it. Next you have to click a little bit late, somewhere at the end of this platform. As soon as you enter the yellow gravity portal, start holding so you can buffer another pink orb. Buffer this click and buffer again. Click on this ramp so you switch gravity and buffer this green orb. This part is pretty tricky. The best way to do it is to click late on the first click and buffer these 2 clicks. Then wait a split second, click and then click inside of this blue orb. Then another timing where this blue portal click is again bufferable, but only if you click late on the last timing. Buffer again and rebuffer this pink orb. The first black orb timing is free, but the second one is a bit tricky. Make 2 really quick clicks and wait a while. Click again and click this red orb when you're somewhere right in the middle of it. If you click too early, you can get killed by the saw blade above. Next on the ship, click the blue orb, release and quickly start holding again so you can fly through the gap. Trust me, it's way consistent this way. Click these 2 orbs and click the black orb really late, because if you click too early, you will go way too up instead of down. Release as soon as you hit the portal and fly your way through. Here, disable the glitch effects, since this makes the part 10 times easier and you want to have to go through this. jump through the spikes, and then we are on our next part. This ship part at first looks pretty tricky, but it is honestly really easy. You can do this first part two ways, either by going above or going down. It's all up to you. I found the top way more consistent. Do the straight fly, and this part is honestly just another straight fly. There's nothing much to it. And another straight fly. Now we have the UFO. Jump late so you don't hit the middle of this ramp. Click late so you won't hit your head and do a double click. As soon as you're up, click again and click this pink orb. Click this blue orb the earliest you can and then do a double click up here. But don't do it too fast, otherwise you won't get the momentum and you'll die to these two spikes. Hold this dash orb and don't release, or the level will kill you. Click as late, as soon as you land on the blue pad, wait a split second and then click again. Once you hit the blue pad, do a double click and wait a while and click again. Wait till your UFO touches the ground, click 3 times and do these 2 simple clicks. Now here comes whatever this is. I absolutely hate this part, there isn't really no trick on how to do it. Just try to click every orb somewhere right in the middle and you should be fine. You have to quickly buffer this green orb or you won't have the height to click these 2 orbs. You can start holding after the pink orb without having to click this pink orb, it's up to you. Then quickly click these 2 orbs, click these 2 black orbs in the middle and buffer these 2. Click these 2 orbs late, then click this green orb also late and wait a split second before jumping again. Click this in the middle, buffer all of the rest of the black orbs. Make your way through this part. Here you can also buffer everything. Click this black orb somewhere in the middle and these 2 orbs really late. But don't click the second one too late or you can land on the spikes on the end. Okay, now comes the duel. This duel is honestly the hardest part to learn in the level, but once you get consistent at it, it becomes the easiest part of the level, no joke. It took me like 2000 attempts to learn it, but once I learned it, I passed it like 19 times out of 20. Once you get into the duel, click late, because if you won't click late, you can die to this thing. I don't know if it's supposed to be there or if it's just a glitch. Buffer this blue orb and start holding. Once you're before this green orb, quickly re-release and buffer it and keep on holding again. Once you do this jump before the yellow portal, re-release again and start holding. Let go of your input before this hole and buffer this orb and quickly re-release again and buffer this blue orb while still holding. Click here 2 times and click the pink orb. Click again, click up here and do alternate clicks with your icons. Wait till your top icon lands on the block above, then you can click. Click here again. Click 1 time, but don't hold on your input for too long, otherwise your top icon can jump and die. Once your top icon falls on the second platform, start holding and release your hold before your top icon hits the platform with the dash orb. Hold the dash orb. Make 1 longer click followed up with 2 short ones. Click the black orb and wait until your icon is in the middle of this thing and then click. Click the black orbs, do not click anything now and wait until your icon gets to the dash orb. Start holding again. This part is the first major choke point in the level. There's no tips for this, just practice it. But what there is are glitches. If you click too early, you can die to some invisible pixel alignment that I still to this day don't know how works. I'd only recommend you to go with each of your icons in its top or bottom part. In my opinion, it's way easier to do it in this way. Once you're at the ending, spam your way through so you won't die. Now we're at the second duel. In my opinion, this duel was easier to learn, but it was harder to play once you've learned it than the first one. Here at this part is a tricky transition that you can die to if you're not careful enough. Click your way through these orbs and it should be fine. Click late so you won't get hit by these saw blades. Click and click again inside of these holes to change your gravity. This click above is bufferable. Click here again on this ramp and follow the click pattern you see above. Once you get down, wait a quick moment before clicking again or you can die to these spikes. Click your top ball quickly before your robot hits the ground. Once your robot hits the ground, wait a while and jump. Hold it enough so you can jump over these 2 spikes in one jump. It's the most consistent way to do it. Once you stop holding, quickly start holding again so that you can click with your ball. Here start holding again and hit the green orb somewhere when you're right in the middle of it with your robot. Do a small click, wait a small moment and click again. Click it in a way that your robot jumps over the first platform and lands on the second one. Meanwhile, while you release, start holding again so your ball can click as soon as possible and also your robot can jump at once. Then do these simple 2 clicks. Once you enter this portal, wait a split second and hold a little bit with your ship, meanwhile your UFO jumps. Don't touch anything before you reach the blue orb. Once you reach the blue orb, click it exactly when your 2 icons are in the middle of it. Once your ship is between the last 2 spikes, start holding again, but not too much so that your ship doesn't hit the top spikes. Release when you're inside the yellow orb, and click the red orb while your ship is at least in the bottom half of it. Don't touch anything yet again. Again, click these 2 blue orbs when you're somewhere in the middle of them, wait a while and start spamming your UFO inside of the gap. This part is really straightforward, just do not click the pink orbs, there's nothing much to say about it, and also buffer every black orb. Now we're at the ending. This part is honestly pretty annoying, but can get consistent after some practice. Click the first 2 black orbs in the middle, do the same on these 2. Buffer these 2 orbs or you'll die. Click these 2 also in the middle. Do not hold once you'll hit this blue orb, or you can die by hitting these spikes above you. Wait a split second and then click. Click these 2 black orbs in the middle, and the last one late. Time this one and click the rest in the middle again. This wave is straightforward, there's nothing to it, just the transition into the mini wave can be a little bit tricky. And also spam your way through this, do not try to find the click pattern. Now we're at the second and last choke point of this level, this ball. I hate it. These 2 clicks are easy. Click this timing, and the best way to do this is honestly by clicking again, clicking this blue orb a little bit later so you can buffer the last click. Then you click again, click these orbs in the middle and keep on going. Now we're at the choke point. These timings are really tricky, so watch out. Now, you can do this part multiple ways, but probably the best way is to click these 2 black orbs really late so you won't fall down. Click this blue orb early so you won't hit the spike or the block in front of you, and click this black orb late again the same way as you click the first 2. Click this black orb and do these simple timings. Now we're at the ending. This part has been heavily nerfed since 2.2 because in the 2.2 version the fixed hitboxes were removed and is now way easier. Make your way through this part. Once you're at the mini portal, click when your icons align with the tip of the spike and click again. Here, click yet again when your icon aligns with this spike and make your way through. Once you're here, click when you're somewhere between these 2 spikes, because if you click too late, you'll die to the structure in front of you. Once you're between these 2 spikes, click again, just in case so you won't die to the last ground spike. And now here's the triple spike. Jonathan GD again adding some bullshit at 99%. Thank you for watching until the end. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd be really glad if you subscribe or at least like the video. This video took me a while to make. If you spot anything wrong with this video, please comment it and I'll pin your comment or help you if I haven't covered your exact problem in this video. If you want to, you can also check out some of my completions and write out in the comments if you'd like to see another guide from one of my recent completions. Or maybe comment some extremes that I should beat and make a guide on them. With all things said, thanks for watching and have a great rest of the day. Goodbye and see you next time.